Welcome everybody to another edition of one of our interviews here at Metal Asylum. This is one of the audio interviews that we do from time to time. Sometimes you'll see video interviews, other times we do Facebook Live, but this is one of our audio video interviews. And we are talking to one of my favorite bands to come out of the melodic hard rock metal sound from the new generation. Jimmy J from H.E.A.T. What's up, Jimmy? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
Good, good. And we are also joined by Jack Mangan, who's also my co-host over at Metal Asylum as well for all these interviews. So, hello, Jack. How you doing?
Good. How you doing, guys? It's good to talk to both of you guys today.
Yeah. Very excited to talk to Jimmy. This is the first time we're interviewing H.E.A.T. And like I said, they're one of my favorite bands to come out of this new generation for this genre, keeping that music alive in the 2000s. So, before we go on to our questions, Jimmy, can you comment on that? As I'm introducing you as one of the, the leaders of the melodic hard rock metal sound.
Yeah, it's very flattering, when we started this thing, what the music that we ultimately are playing and that we love was, considered extremely uncool. And, I guess we really did not, give a damn about that. I guess we were, just music nerds being, quite comfortable being, outsiders the other people don't understand. And I guess we just started the band with that in mind. And well, we've come quite a far, long way since then.
Right. Well, your first album came out in 2008. So you've been around for 12 years already.
Yeah. Sure.
14 years.
Yeah, 14 years. Yeah.
Right.
Actually, the band, we started it in 2007, like early 2007. So we have kind of like a 15th anniversary this year. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then the first album, the self-titled one, was in 2008.
That's right. That's correct.
Right. All right. So, Jack, go ahead with your first question there.
Sure. Well, you know what? I'd say, Jimmy, let's get right into it. Tell us all about. Talk to us about Forrest Majora. What can the fans expect? I know, as Rich alluded, I know there's been some change with vocalists. Tell us all about what we're going to get on Forrest Majora.
Yeah,
well, Jack, I guess. Jimmy, I'm sorry. Before he goes,
sure.
Let me piggyback on that. When Eric joined Skid Row, has that brought more attention to H.E.A.T from that? And then you can go into Jack's answer too. I think that's a good connection there.
Not that I've noticed, actually. I think anybody that was aware, I think that Eric still has some time to like prove himself among the diehard Skid Row fans, with I don't know, is the entire album out yet? The Gans All Here.
No, they just have 2 singles out so far, and I think the album comes out in October.
Exactly. So I think that the people that know who H.E.A.T is and that know who Skid Row is, they're very excited. So, but I think for the ones who are more like, I think that Eric still maybe has to prove himself for them. I'm quite sure that he will blow them away. So, who knows? Maybe we'll get some new fans from that. I don't know. We have toured with Skid Row before, and it's a great match. I'd say if you like Skid Row, you kind of like us, and vice versa. But
exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Time will tell.
Okay.
What you can expect from Forrest Majora. This is an album that I've been. When Kenny left after Freedom Rock, there were so many things that were, left loose. We at that point we were not really in control of our own production. We didn't have the know-how. We didn't have the, creative freedom with our record label that we have today, and that we actually got straight after Freedom Rock. So this is ultimately the album that we always wanted to make with Kenny, like knowing how to get the sound that we want, knowing how to to make that album, and this is that album that ultimately we have always wanted to make with Kenny. So it's a very special one for us.
Great.
Would you say that it's a good compliment to Heat too? Because that album in 2020 was actually, I think picked it. I know it was in my top 5. It might have been my number 1 for the year for 2020. So
All right.
do you feel Forrest Majora is like a real good compliment to that, or is it the next step?
Yeah, definitely. We were very happy with, where we were with Heat 2, and we were very happy with the way we made the album. Jonah T taking the heavy load of the production side, and also Tobias, who has mixed the previous songs since Eric joined, also on the mixing side. Like we felt like we had found a good place, and we wanted to keep it that way, and it was enough change with like Kenny coming back in, so and so we just wanted pretty much to do everything the way we did it on Heat 2 with obviously not make the same album, but yeah, but we wanted to make it with Kenny. We were very happy with Heat 2. We are very happy with Force Majeure. We're excited to release it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jack.
Well, I'll tell you just really quickly. So far, I've given a couple of spins myself, and I think my personal favorites are the ones that really stood out to me. I think would be "Harder to Breathe" and "Demon Eyes." But I'll ask you. So, do you have any ones that you feel are? I know I'm asking you to pick your favorite, like quite nice to pick your favorite kids. But do you have any that you feel are really special or going to get a lot of attention?
Yeah, I do think my favorite song on the album that I'm it's so weird that I haven't gotten tired of it yet, because usually when once your album is released, you've heard the song for 1.5 years, but Tainted Blood is just a monster of a song, I think, and it's, I'm so looking forward to playing that one live.
Great. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you about the video for Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about that, and then connected to you can tell us about your influences after I make the statement, but why did you pick the Europe single, Let the Good Times Rock, to appear in the video? And then tell us about that, that song in that video. There's a couple other albums that you guys sneak in there too, little cameos, right?
Sure.
And then your influences, because I hear, obviously, Europe. I hear Dokken Under Lock and Key. I hear Def Leppard Hysteria. And I even hear a little bit of Ed Guy and Hammerfall on you guys.
Yeah, I think you nailed it, like in terms of where influences come from. The video, those were kind of a little bit flirts, like with our influences, and maybe pay a little bit tribute to where we come from. Like there was a time in our, like, since 2007 when it was actually not the people we worked with didn't want us to even call us to be named in the same AOR genre or melodic rock, because it wasn't cool. They were like, oh, we should brand this more like hard rock and towards metal, and we're like, yeah, all right, but now we're really over that. Like, we feel like we are who we are. We're and we just wanted to pay some tribute to some bands that have meant a lot to us. Among those, like Giant and Def Leppard and Europe, obviously. Right. So.
And then, like I said, I also do hear that Dokken, like the Lock and Key influence, and a little bit of Ed Guy and Hammerfall too. Though the melodic metal as well. So you're a little bit of both.
Yeah, sure. Actually, me personally, I still yet to go through like Dokken's discography. Like that's the I have a lot of that's being born in '86 when actually I had no idea when all of this was going on. Like I still have a lot of bands to still discover, like that I know that I'm gonna love, and Dokken is one of those. So
that gave you a good starting point with Lock and Key then.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, Dokken is one of the greats. Yeah, absolutely. Tooth and nail out. Yeah, you can't go wrong with
Yeah,
that
I
stuff.
hear I hear that a lot. That it's a bit of Dokken in this and that,
Mhm.
and I'm like, all right, cool. better
Yeah.
better better check it out. Or maybe I shouldn't,
And
so we don't steal something.
and was there a
Nah.
reason why you picked "Let the Good Times Rock" the single? Obviously, Europe or Swedish. So, is there a reason why that song though showed up?
No. Well, there's a reason why it was Europe. I think why it was Let the Good Times Rock. Uh, I think it was more of a coincidence. It was like
Mhm.
oh, we like this cover. It was more a tribute to the band Europe rather than the song Let the Good Times Rock. And I don't think that we had like any sort of message about letting the good times rock.
Right. This so
you know,
happened to be the song you picked.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd like to think that we're that deep, but I don't think we were. So
All right, go ahead, Jack.
Well, I'll ask. So, of course, the Swedish scene. When people think Swedish hard rock, heavy metal, sometimes people will think of like the Gothenburg stuff. The really heavy stuff, the At the Gates. Opeth, In Flames. Do you guys? Obviously, you guys don't. That's not your sound. But do you guys have any connection to the bands around that scene?
uh, personally, I love that stuff. Like it's. I don't know. I think it's so many good songs that are like in there. I was a very early like Soilwork fan, and I think that's also like Natural Born Chaos with Soilwork is one of the best like metal albums that I still go back to today, and obviously In Flames and all their stuff. I don't know. I can't say more about it than that. I love it, and I play a lot of that stuff myself. Like when I write music, I often go towards that, but uh, yeah, it's nothing that has like been released or even like been considered for a H.E.A.T album yet. But it's a fraction of what I write and stuff. But yeah, I really like that stuff. I get it.
Sure. All right. Hey,
Yeah.
all right. Go ahead, Rich.
All right, so you guys have never toured America, but you played a couple shows in
Mhm.
North America where you did a couple of the hard rock cruises. So can you tell everybody about a couple of them that you've done? And is that going to lead maybe to the next step for doing an American tour soon?
Well, we hope that we're gonna tour America like very soon. Um, it's always been a dream for us, and obviously these like festivals and cruises and stuff. We hope to be like a stepping stone into touring,
Right.
into
Yeah.
America. Obviously, like having done that grind in Europe already, we know that it is quite away from playing a festival somewhere at a flying show to actually being able to play 5 nights a week, throughout an entire nation.
Right.
It's so, uh, but we are looking at every option to tour the US.
How many of those cruises have you guys done so far in America?
Well, we did 2 cruises. It was the Monsters of Rock cruise both times.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you have like a good time slot? Did a lot of people get a chance to see you? Did they know about you guys?
Yeah, it was very crowded. Actually, I wasn't there on the first one. I had a replacement because my son was born like just
Oh,
that week. But I got a chance to play the last time, and yeah, it was crowded, and I mean I felt like we were. I mean, it was pretty much talk about H.E.A.T, and people were excited. So yeah,
excellent.
I th-
Are you guys scheduled to do any more anytime soon? Even if you don't have an American tour scheduled, are you going to play another cruise or some kind of festival here maybe?
nothing that I'm like can talk about actually. Yeah,
Okay.
so yeah.
How about in Europe? What you alluded you're off to Finland soon. What
Yeah.
for our European listeners, what shows do you have coming up shortly?
I mean, obviously, the summer is kind of festival summer's ending pretty soon, but we're opening for Toto 3 shows in Finland this weekend. After that, we're playing in Hamburg, Germany, and after that, we're actually off to Australia for 4 shows. So with Crazy Licks, and
Nice. That's another good new band from the new generation too.
yeah, they're great friends, and yeah, awesome. Love to see them doing good as well, and it's gonna be a crazy fun tour. So
It's great that you guys fit with Toto and also with Crazy Licks. So obviously those two bands are very different, but I absolutely
Yeah.
it makes perfect sense. You guys are a perfect fit with both cases.
Yeah.
thanks. I take it as a compliment.
What's the next single going to be, do you think? Are you going to do another video, or is it going to be like a lyric video? What's next?
Well, I obviously no. I think that Tainted Blood is gonna be at least featured with some sort of visual media. That's what we've been talking about. I mean, here in Europe, I mean the album is released in 2 days. So, but we do want to make some more, maybe videos, visual media. We're gonna see where it goes. I personally would have loved to release Demonize as a single as well, because I think it's so out there from what we do, and I think that could attract some broader audience. I don't know.
Sure.
The album comes out, it says August 5th. Is that correct? Even in North America? That's worldwide?
Yeah, I think it's worldwide.
Okay.
So
Great. Well, so can you tell us a little bit also about just the songwriting process? I mean, as we've already talked about, you've had, the singers changed on this album, or changed back on this album. Talk to us about how the songs kind of get written as a group.
This happened actually, you guys worked on this when the pandemic, in between 2020 and 22. So that's where the pandemic was happening too. So were you working together or emailing stuff to each other?
well, actually, it happens kind of totally personally. I'm not very good at like writing together with other people. Like I have a very clear view of where I want the song to go as soon as I have come up with the first melody. So for me personally, I sit in my own studio and I write the stuff, and when it's ready, then people can come in with like criticism or suggestions how to change it or how to make it fit in better. But I know that, I mean, Jonah writes a lot. He writes a lot, like all the time. He writes so many songs that you wouldn't believe. But and if Dave or Kenny or Crash even happens to be in the studio, then I guess they write together. So it's kind of an open door kind of policy in the writing process. So everything is not written by everybody, but but some things are written by more people. Jonah, obviously, or maybe not so obviously to everybody, but he does write the majority of the songs, and also as a producer of the album, it's comes quite naturally that he has his hand in most of the stuff. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you guys been offered to open for any tours or bands that are going through America? Like for example, the stadium tour that was Def Leppard, Motley Crue, and Poison. Were you offered any type of, show like that where you're opening for these big bands from your genre?
Well, if we would have been offered that tour, we would have jumped on it ASAP.
Right.
But we have been offered some tours where the like where we maybe haven't thought that it's a perfect fit, or maybe it's like the as an opener, it's always an economical side to it, and sometimes we may not think it's worth it, or we want to wait for something else. We have gotten offers, but nothing that we have really thought would be good for us.
All right. So, and then so back on Force Majeure, one of the things that really stands out for me are Dave's the guitar solos. It seems like they're given a little bit of an extra push, or a little bit extra. That's a lot of these are really special. Was that something that was he just kind of just did on the spot, or those really, did you guys collaborate on those? How did those come about?
We took a lot of time making this album, and Dave spent a lot of time in the studio and at home, actually, like doing his solos. I don't know what he does all the time, if he's like waiting for inspiration, or if he's like doing all the takes, but I know that he was very thorough about the guitar sound. Like, just to nail the guitar sound took almost 3 weeks, and like we had actually made it for us that way, that we didn't rent, like we set up our own studio so that we did not have to have like an economical side to it. We just could take as much time as we wanted to. So they wanted to take a lot of time and be very thorough about the sound. And I can more than agree. He plays like a monster on this album. It's it's legendary status, I think.
Yeah, I agree. It's great stuff. All right, that's my question. Rich, go ahead.
Okay. The new album, is there going to be any type of special editions of it? Like, you get like a shirt with it or something like that. A lot of these bands are doing that with new albums. So are you doing any special versions of it for people?
Well, as usual, like Japan has their little, extra song on there. It's a remix of Back to the Rhythm, I think it was, like a synthwaves thing. But we do have 2 songs that were actually recorded as well, and are ready, that did not make the album. And it could be that we will release one or both of those as some sort of a special, like in between single, like we did with Back to Life. And we'll see. Both those songs are pretty cool and stand out in the context as well. So I really hope that we will do that.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
And do you guys still sell CDs, or is it mostly MP3s, downloads? What's the story with that?
I mean, to me, physical media is more like a merch product today, I think. Like, if anybody actually wants to listen to things, they do stream it. But it's more of a collections item today but we do sell quite a bit of CDs. It's different from different countries. It's more of a culture thing, I think. In Japan, they still sell quite a lot of CDs. I think it goes with the trends in each country,
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, Jack, you got one more? I know we're nearing the end of our time here.
Yeah, I've got just really quickly. I want to ask: are there any songs from the Eric era that you feel like Kenny is really is really nailing, and I don't know, in rehearsal, or like he's going to just own when you guys perform live again with Kenny, or has already seen that, where songs from the Eric era that Kenny does well?
We have not obviously tried all of them. We have talked about bringing in some songs. I really am looking forward to hearing Kenny singing Downtown, and I think it would really fit him. But also I think he does. We do play Emergency live and Redefined. I think he really nails. Like, it's I think he's very good at most of these songs, but yeah, Kenny has a very much soul in his voice. Like live, he totally nails the Shotgun Redemption as well. It's yeah, it's quite a good version. You should check it out.
Cool.
Very cool. All right, yeah. Well, all right, Rich. Why don't you and Jimmy, why don't you guys take us out? But yeah, I will say, Jimmy, this has been great. Thank you so much. But yeah, Rich, why don't you
Thank you.
take us out with a
Yeah,
couple of-
same here. Like I said, longtime fan, been supporting you guys for a long time. So looking forward to
Appreciate
the
it.
album.
Thanks,
I'm
man.
happy to give you guys the interview and hope to see you guys on tour here sooner than later.
Yeah, I hope so. New Jersey and Arizona, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
East Coast here. Definitely New York, New Jersey area. You can get to Jack later, at a later date.
Sure.
Yeah, well, LA, that's it's a couple hours away for me. So LA is, that's another big scene you want to hit if
There
you
you
get to yeah, New York and LA. Those are the big places.
Yeah.
For sure. Heard about him.
Yeah. All right. Well, Rich, Jimmy, do you guys want to take us out with some words of wisdom or some final shots?
Go ahead, Jimmy. This is your album. It's coming out. It's out this week. So
Yeah, sure.
sell
Force
it to
Majora.
everybody. Sell it to everybody.
Yeah, sure. Force Majora out August 5th. Check it out. Enjoy it. Give it a few spins. Hope you like it.
And you'll hopefully come to North America next year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna keep pushing until I see you guys here.
We have to. We have
Yeah.
to.
Mhm.
For Rich, if nothing else, you got to get here for Rich, Jimmy.
Right.
Yeah,
We'll just do that in New
definitely.
York. We'll do that New York, New Jersey show. We'll be good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so
Cool.
much.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck with the album too as well.
Thank you so much.
You got it.
Appreciate it. Appreciate
All right,
your
man.
support.